Hello everyone, my name is Hank, and today I'm going to tell you about the story of my sister. It was just an ordinary day. I was home alone, sitting in the living room, scrolling through Instagram. The house was so quiet. Then I heard footsteps, soft, almost inaudible, and then came the knock at the door. I heard my sister's voice. She said, "It's me, open the door." But I knew she had gone out with our parent. So who was calling me? Just before I opened the door, I remember when I was little, my great-grandmother used to tell me ghost stories. She always warned me, check twice before you open the door. After that, I decided to call my dad. He said they were still in the supermarket. My sister was with them. And the voice began to change. It was getting stranger and stranger. It was the way she kept calling, over and over again, like a recording. I looked through the peephole. At the moment, she stopped speaking. She just stood there, silently staring, like she knew I was watching. I hesitated, thinking maybe I would imagine it. So I looked through the peephole again. Nothing. No one was there. But when I opened the door, the doormat was crooked, slightly out of place, and it felt like someone had just been standing on it. It was all too strange. I couldn't sleep, so I turned over in bed and stared out the window. Suddenly, I thought I saw a pale figure. I blinked and confused. Maybe I was just seeing things. I tried to figure out who was staring at me, but I felt afraid, and I realized it looked like my sister, but that couldn't be. She was already asleep. I was terrified. The figure, it was getting closer and closer. A handprint suddenly appeared on the window. Goosebumps ran all over me. I was scared to death. Could it be the ghost from earlier this afternoon? At that moment, I knew she wasn't my sister. She stood by the window, and her face was empty. And yet, I couldn't look away. I turned away from the window and shut my eyes tight. I knew if I opened my eyes, I would see her, still standing there, too quiet and too close. The next day, I heard her voice again when I was alone at home. She was just on the other side, sobbing like a little girl, but there was something strange in her tone, like she wanted me to feel sorry. It felt like she needed help, like she was scared. I stood up, reached for the door, and then paused. I looked through the peephole again, trying to see if the person who was outside door was my sister. She smiled just like my sister always did, but this time it was wrong. Her mouth moved, but nothing else did. She was copying, not feeling. The sight shocked me. I stumbled backward in fear. A voice inside me screamed, "Don't open the door!" What's worse, a piece of paper slid through the crack under the door. She knew how to sound like her, and now she even knows how to write like her. The note was gone. It had been right there a moment ago. Before I could make sense of it, I heard my sister's voice and my parents. They had come home. She smiled and said hi, but I was wondering, was this really her? It felt almost no more. No more. She didn't say anything, neither did I. But every second, I kept thinking, was it really her? After watching TV, she was just playing a puzzle, like usual. Her posture and her voice, all the same, but it was like watching someone wearing her skin. I was sitting on the floor playing with my phone, while my sister was next to me, working on a puzzle. But when I looked at the living room window, the reflection showed her staring straight at me. I was scared. I couldn't ask the question, because if she wasn't the real one, I didn't want to hear her answer. No matter the day, it was always 3 o'clock, and every time something strange happens, I could hear her calling me, asking me to open the door for her. I didn't know if she had replaced my sister, or if I was the one being replaced. I couldn't trust my own memory anymore, so I used my phone to record it, just in case it wasn't only in my head. Suddenly, while I was recording, a cup in the living room tripped over. Figure surged through me. I screamed. I saw a shadow slipping in through the crack under the door. I couldn't believe it. Was this really happening? Then I saw her, the ghost who looked just like my sister, walking in from the balcony. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. I couldn't move. I looked at her as she slowly walked past me. With every step she took, the floor grew wet under her feet. Step by step, she made her way to my bedroom. Day after day, I tried to remember clearly. Had I ever opened the door, or did I imagine I hadn't? There were only two very wet shoes. I didn't hear the door open, but someone had come in. I couldn't see myself, not even a blur. And in that moment, I wondered, what if I'm not the original one? Then, I saw myself. My mouth wasn't moving, but in the mirror, my reflection was speaking, and it was her voice. She asked me, has your sister really come back? Maybe I did open the door after all, or maybe I lost and let it open. However, I left it closed. No matter who knocks, no matter what I hear, I never open it again. I couldn't sleep, so I picked up my phone and started scrolling through the videos I had recorded earlier. But then I saw something that made my blood run cold. I was in the video, but if I was in it, then who was filming? Who was holding the camera? It was too ridiculous to be real. I rushed back to my room, climbed into bed, and tried to fall asleep. Maybe if I slept, it would all go away. But then I felt it, a chill in the ear, crawling across my skin. I kept my eyes shut. I couldn't look. I already knew she was there, standing beside me. I didn't move and didn't breathe. I just lay there, eyes shut tight, waiting for the car to pass. But it didn't. Something brushed against my blanket, so light and so slow. Then, nothing. When I finally opened my eyes, it was morning. Sunlight spilled through the curtains. Everything looked normal. But on the floor, right beside my bed, were two small wet footprints.